Hello, hello, hello. I'm Bike again, your main, the real Bill Real. I'm returning to the uh, subject that I've been speaking on for the last couple of videos. I was talking with a buddy today, and we began to chop it up about Michael Bennett and Marshawn Lynch now deciding to sit during the national anthem. And we began to, converse back and forth. And I asked a question that had he and several others stumped. And the question that I asked went a little something like this. I said, it seems like the protest is being held in the wrong place. And my question that followed that was, instead of the protest being held on the field, wouldn't it be best to have the protests outside of the courtroom where the true injustice happens? Yeah, I know. It was, supposed to stump you too. See, I want to give you guys a breakdown of what happens, okay, in these situations where we have injustices happening. But before I do, I want to explain to you the network, okay, if you will, of the legal system, okay? The front line is the police, okay, that will interact with. They'll arrest you, approach you, whatever, question you, all right? The second in command or the next step higher is the say like the court system itself, okay? And then you have on top of that, you have like a sergeant, lieutenant, prosecutor, um, anybody involved in the court case, attorneys, all right, lawyers. And then you have the general, all right, who is the judge, okay? I just need to let you guys understand this. Most police forces are Masonic, okay? Those same guys that you see walking around um, with the aprons, well, you don't see them walking around because that's something that they only wear amongst themselves. Um, I would say any police force is over 60% Masonic. So when I say over 60%, that means like the majority, obviously, the majority of them are Masons. Okay, mostly no farther than a Master Mason, which is the third level in the Masonic Lodge. Okay, Scottish Rite for the white ones, Prince Hall for the black people. Okay, so when you have a shooting that occurs where the police probably broke the law and probably used undue force. When you research on Google, just go and research Freemasonry oaths, okay? If you don't believe me, because I know there's some people that have been listening to my video for years and they don't believe anything I say. But anyway, go ahead. Anyway, you'll see what I'm telling you is true. When you go and research the oaths, you'll begin to see that the oaths require that they protect their fellow Mason whenever that Mason is in distress. Whenever that Mason is being accused of something, they are required to lie. Just like the Jesuit oath says that also. Okay? It's on there too. Go ahead and Google this stuff. This is no secret. All right? You just got to know where to look. But just go to Google. Google has the information sitting up there. So, hypothetical situation. Trigger happy Harry, he decides that he's going to shoot Tyrone, okay? Because Tyrone is coming at him with a knife. It could be a butter knife, but obviously in the report, it's going to be he was coming at him with a box cutter. It was coming at him with, a 6-inch butcher knife. Whatever it was, he could have been pepper sprayed. He could have been tased, but trigger happy Harry decided that he was going to pull out the jammy and blast him 3 times in the chest. All right. So when his partner Robert, who happens to also be in the Brotherhood, comes in to testify about what happened to the sergeant or the lieutenant or whatever detectives that are over the investigation, who they are probably Masons too, he's going to corroborate the story of Trigger Happy Harry. So that case gets closed, and the family is outraged because Tyrone probably had mental issues. He probably hadn't had his behind whooped in years. Okay, so when it came down for him to get that discipline, which everybody gets one way or the other, Trigger Happy Harry gets off because of the Brotherhood. Okay, I need y'all to understand why you see all of these cases come to the same conclusion. And that's also besides the fact that the curses, and Luke 26:17 says that I'm going to have you fall by the hand of your enemies, and those that hate you will rule over you. Okay? So I'm saying this to say that I understand that the brothers mean well. They really do. They want to bring about change. They want to be the people that stood up, make a difference. But it's almost as if you are complaining about being bitten by fire ants, and you don't know that the ant bed is underneath your house. Okay? And you have no idea where these fire ants are coming from. You don't understand how they work. You don't understand how they're able to move and appear, bite you, and disappear. And you're like, where the heck? How do they? Where they? I don't have an ant bed that I can just openly see, where I can just throw some water on it or throw some of that, red on it or whatever, and let it go down all in the trenches and stuff and get rid of the queen. And I don't see the ant bed. So because I don't see the ant bed, I don't know how to get at the ants. The ants are able to come out, bite me at will, disappear. Okay? You get what I'm saying? That even if a fire ant bit you, and say it was 3 or 4 of them that were biting you on your leg, and you smashed and killed the 3 or 4 of them that were on your leg, did you really do any damage to the unit? No, you didn't. You just killed off 3 or 4 of them, but the queen is laying eggs. She's probably going to lay enough eggs and hatch enough freaking new fire ants. They probably, pop out 100 of them a week. Okay? There's somebody taking the oath tonight. There's somebody right now taking that oath saying, okay, all right, I swear to be able to let you freaking cut out my heart and cut out my tongue if I ever tell the secrets, and if I ever betray my brother, death is what I deserve, and all that. Go read these oaths, people. You think it's a game. You think I'm lying to you. Go ahead and read what these people believe and what they stand for and how they cover for each other. So you can take a knee, the whole doggone team can take a knee, and it's not going to change one thing until you go after what the real corruption is. The same thing that happened with the banksters. Those guys were Masons, man. Those guys ain't freaking snitching on each other. Those guys stick together. Come on. They freaking pulled a building, World Trade Center 7. Yeah. They caused the whole building to fall down. Why? Because that building had information in it that was going to get a bunch of people in Washington in trouble. They had investigations open on a bunch of people. There was mass corruption going on. Okay, this is a fact. They brought the freaking building down. Now you think that the Masons had nothing to do with that? Huh? Come on, man. So that's the real issue right now. It's Masonic. But it's like the same thing about like, okay, like say my family member got railroaded. Okay, say they brought in some freaking Planet Coke that they had on him. They freaking planted some freaking crack on him or whatever. You know, he might have been in that lane. He might have been, you know, selling weed, and they might have just said, you know, we want to put the real screws to this rascal. All right, and they end up freaking knocking him off for freaking 25 to, you know, to life or whatever on some RICO law act or whatever. And I go to my job and I protest on my job. Come on. What does my job have to do with what happened in the court system? You know, it's apples, oranges. It's like they don't have anything to do with each other. And that's the way I'm looking at these protests. I'm like, well, what do you want the fans at the games to do? How are they going to get into the inner workings of the court system and call out the corruption that's going on with people who are members of this society, but it's secret? So you don't even know who's who. There's a lot of them you don't even know. Okay? So that's the reason why you have certain court decisions go the way that they go. Okay? Bill Cosby. Okay? Mistrial. All right? Come on. Now, I believe some of those women were lying. Okay? But if, you know, damn near 50 women come forward, you drugged 100 of them. Okay, all right. You drugged another 100 that are too embarrassed to admit that, yeah, I was drinking with that guy and I woke up and my butt was burning, or it just felt like I had really rough sex with somebody. They're probably too embarrassed. So the point I'm saying is that it's not a secret that he's a Mason. Okay, how many times you have celebrities get in trouble over something? Nothing happens to them, or they get a slap on the wrist, or there's a mistrial, or they're found not guilty. Why? Huh? Because they know how to go in there, start doing some of the gestures, they start doing certain things, they start, you know, positioning themselves in a certain way, they ask a question, okay, which lets everybody else know, hey, this is a Mason, you know what I mean? Huh? People, it's way deeper than we think. It's all fraternal. It's all Masonic. Those protests will not change one thing until you get rid of secret societies. When you get rid of secret societies, then you will get rid of corruption. If you allow secret societies to flourish and don't banish them from the countries where they are, you're going to have corruption. You're going to have cops who do things that are illegal, that they should be reprimanded for, and they're going to basically get away. They're basically going to go on that vacation, paid vacation, on paid leave. That this is what's going to happen. So, you know, I need people to understand that if they want to protest, start directing the protest towards the people that are corrupt. Okay? The owners have nothing to do with that. The owners themselves are Masons. Okay? So they're going to side with any other fellow Masons. The same owner that owns the team probably hires Masonic freaking coaches. All right? The officials who are freaking refereeing the game, they're all Masons. Just like the freaking judges. So it's all connected. These people are all connected. So that's the reason why they can blackball Colin Kaepernick. Okay? He ain't in the loop. Plus, I don't think his skills are that good. Anyway, I just wanted to break down for a few minutes the inner workings of the system, the legal system that they are protesting against. A lot of people have forgotten that. They have forgotten that Colin Kaepernick's protest is about the legal system. He says, oh, the injustices that are done to black people. But yeah, the injustices are done on a legal system level. Okay? That's where it really is occurring. So if you really want to protest, you, Mr. Colin Kaepernick, needs to go and protest outside of a courthouse. You need to go protest outside of a police station. You need to have a sit-in outside of there, which it won't change anything at all because they're still going to bond together and they're still going to cover each other. Okay? So I just want y'all to understand how these protests will do nothing. Okay? It'll go nowhere. All right? Anyway, that was my video for today. I will be talking with y'all later. Peace.